Anh này đẹp thế này ngửi nhá. Thơm quá. Con ngửi đi. Thơm quá. Anh à. Không ăn được. Không ăn được đâu, có con sâu đấy.
Anh là ăn lên này này. Nè, ăn lên này.
Không ăn được.
Ăn hết nè.
Ui rồi. Đây cho mẹ.
Hết rồi.
Hết rồi à?
Con gọi điện cho anh Trường là gọi cho bác. Ví dụ như là lúc nào mà bác muốn gặp Duy thì bác lại gọi lên cho con ạ nhé. Bác xem con như là con gái trong nhà rồi, thế là Duy nữa thì con không có gì để ngại cả nhé. Không có gì để ngại đâu, vui lên đi chứ nhé. Nên là con không phải lo cái gì đâu, không phải nghĩ cái gì đâu. Đây là cái tấm lòng, cái tình cảm bác dành cho hai mẹ con, thế con nhé. Con nhận đi cho bác vui. Không sao được con, không gì phải khóc nhé. Cái gì cả thì là tình cảm bác dành cho hai mẹ con, như anh Trường dành cho con nào thì bác.
The first golden rays of dawn filter through the thick mist blanketing the rolling hills, casting a warm, ethereal glow over Ly Tieu Nu's humble farm, a fragile sanctuary cradled by vast, undulating fields. The uploaded photos unveil a tranquil courtyard where a rooster's triumphant crow shatters the morning stillness, its silhouette etched boldly against a bamboo fence interwoven with vibrant hibiscus blooms, while ducks glide gracefully across a pond fringed with delicate lotus flowers. Inside a weathered thatched hut, Tieu Nu stirs awake on a coarse straw mat, the rich, earthy scent of damp soil and woven reeds enveloping her as she stretches, her limbs aching from a restless night haunted by faint, unsettling dreams. She rises, stepping into the crisp morning air that kisses her skin with a gentle chill, and settles onto a weathered wooden bench beneath the sprawling canopy of a mango tree, its leaves rustling softly as the farm awakens with the flutter of wings and the distant murmur of neighboring farmers. Turning to the camera with a weary yet heartfelt smile, she speaks, her voice carrying a quiet warmth. Good morning, everyone. Wishing you a day full of peace. Enjoy this little peek into our world. Truong approaches, his steady footsteps and kind, steady gaze a source of comfort, and asks in a gentle tone, "Did you sleep well, Tieu Nu?" She nods, her reply soft but sincere. "Yes, thank you. Dewey's off school today, so I'm thinking of taking him to the market for a change of pace." Truong chuckles, rubbing the back of his neck. "Market day already? I must have missed that. He's probably still lost in dreams. Let him rest a bit longer." Tieu Nu tilts her head, considering the day ahead. "It's early, but I'd love to give him some joy since he's free today." Truong nods approvingly, his expression thoughtful. "That's a fine plan. You take it easy today. I'm off work myself and need to visit Hong to arrange disinfection for the coops. The sickness is getting worse out there." The uploaded photos reveal a cluster of chickens pecking at the dusty ground and a small child's figure playing near a vibrant garden patch, a hint of Dewey's presence. Tieu Nu adds with a trace of concern, "All right, but please bring back something to eat when you return. Do you feel at home here with us?" Truong's face softens, his voice reassuring. "No need to be shy. I'm planning to build you a sturdy new house soon, and life will find its rhythm again. Are you worried about the poultry?" She lets out a slow breath, her brow furrowing. "Yes, I was up late checking on them. The place is a mess, and with this outbreak I can't shake the unease." The images showcase a slightly sagging thatched structure and a garden bursting with colorful flowers, a testament to her tireless care. Truong places a comforting hand on her shoulder, his grip firm yet gentle. "I'll get Hong to handle the disinfection and fetch some potent medicine. If it works, they should start recovering in a day or two." Tieu Nu casts a glance toward the hut, her mind shifting to her son. "If Dewey's not at school, I'll keep him close. Summer break is nearing. His teacher mentioned extra classes to keep him busy. Truong suggests with a thoughtful nod, "Let's enroll him then. It'll give you some breathing room to work or rest. I'll stop by Huen's place today to get him registered." The photos depict a bustling market scene with vendors calling out and children weaving through the stalls, mirroring their plans. Tieu Nu agrees, her tone resolute. "That's a good idea. He's too young to be left on his own." Truong's voice drops to a tender cadence. "Seeing you and Due healthy, happy, and safe brings me more joy than words can express. No thanks are needed. We're family now, tied by more than just circumstance." His gaze drifts to the horizon, a hint of determination in his eyes. "I'm working hard with this new job, hoping it brings the stability we need." Tieu Nu offers a faint smile. "I wish you all the success. Please stay safe out there." He nods, his reply earnest. "And you, health is our foundation. Someday I'll teach you to ride a bike, but for now take Due to the market. I'll manage the coupes." He picks up a water bottle from the photos, its surface glinting in the early light, and strides off as Tieu Nu calls after him, "Be careful, Truong." The morning air carries a subtle tension, a shadowy figure lurking just beyond the bamboo fence, its presence unnoticed by the pair as they part ways. Truong kneels in the sun-baked yard, the uploaded photos capturing him cradling a frail chicken, its feathers matted and dulled by the relentless grip of disease, a stark reminder of the farm's struggle. "Come on, take this, get your strength back," he whispers, carefully tilting a syringe of medicine into its beak, his hands trembling slightly with the weight of responsibility. The bird swallows with effort and he coaxes, "Good, now try to stand for me." It wobbles unsteadily, then takes a tentative step, its wings fluttering weakly as Truong watches with bated breath. A flicker of hope battling his exhaustion. A masked worker trudges up, hauling a bulky sprayer over his shoulder, and calls out, "I'm here to disinfect. Hong sent me after your message." Truong rises, brushing dirt from his knees. "Thank you, spray every inch, especially where the sickest birds are huddled. We're losing too many." The photos depict the worker unleashing a thick mist over the thatched coops, the air growing heavy with a sharp, chemical tang as chickens scatter in a chaotic flurry of feathers and distressed clucks. The worker adjusts his mask, reassuring, "This won't harm them. It's formulated to save the flock." Truong nods, a faint smile breaking through his worry. "Let's hope it turns this around." Across the village, Tieu Nu and Due venture into the vibrant heart of the market, the images bursting with life, stalls brimming with mangoes, lemongrass, and hand-carved toys. The air alive with the smoky aroma of grilled fish and the sweet scent of ripe fruit. Due tugs at a wilted flower, his small face creasing with disappointment. "Mom, it's all droopy." Tieu Nu kneels beside him, her voice a soothing balm. "Let's find a pretty one. Smell this. Doesn't it lift your spirits?" He inhales deeply, a grin spreading, then points excitedly, "Catch that butterfly over there." The photos capture children darting through the crowded aisles, their laughter blending with vendors' spirited cries of fresh herbs and sticky rice cakes. Tieu Nu chases after him, her skirt fluttering, until they pause at a stall where Due admires a wooden bird whistle. Back at the farm, the worker steps back, wiping sweat from his brow. "All done. It'll take a few days to take effect. These birds are in bad shape, but the medicine might pull them through in 2 or 3 days if they hold on." Truong reaches into his pocket, pulling out 200,000 vendi. The bills worn and folded, and hands them over. I appreciate it. Keep me updated if anything changes. As the worker departs with a nod, Truong turns to see Tieu Nu and Due returning. Due clutching a makeshift net crafted from twigs and a scrap of fabric. "Uncle Truong's here," the boy exclaims, throwing his arms around Truong's legs. Truong hoists him up with a warm laugh. "Hunting butterflies, eh? Did you nab that speedy one?" Due giggles. "It got away, too fast for me." Tieu Nu approaches, her shirt clinging with sweat and her face flushed from the market's heat. "We had a wonderful time, but I'm utterly spent." Truong studies her with concern. "Change into something dry. Let's head to Huin's to sort out Dewey's summer classes. It'll ease your burden." The photos capture a thrilling motorbike ride. Truong and Due zooming down a dusty path. Tieu Nu waving from the gate with a mix of pride and worry. At Huin's modest home, Ken lounges on the porch, fanning himself against the midday sun. "Where's Truong?" he asks, peering past Tieu Nu. She replies, "He took Due out, should be back soon." Ken nods. "I need to discuss a new irrigation project with him." His tone shifts, lowering as he leans closer. "I overheard men at the tea stall asking about your farm. Strangers with rough voices and sharper looks. Stay on guard." Tieu Nu's heart stumbles, her voice quivering. "You think it's trouble brewing?" The photos hint at shadowy figures lurking near the orchard's edge. A motorbike's chrome glinting ominously in the distance. Ken pats her hand, his voice steadying. "Likely just talk for now, but keep your eyes open and doors locked." As Truong rolls in with Due, the air grows thick with an unspoken dread. The market's distant hum fading into an eerie silence. The tension mounts as Truong senses a disturbance. He inspects the coops, the photos revealing a broken latch, scattered feed, and a fresh footprint pressed into the mud, clear signs of an unwanted visitor. Someone's been poking around. He mutters, his jaw tightening with resolve. Tieu Nu joins him, her eyes widening in alarm. Could it be the sickness spreading or something darker? Truong grips her hand, his voice a firm anchor. "I won't let anything harm you or Due. We'll stay close and figure this out together." The worker's earlier words echo, 2 or 3 days for recovery, but now a new sinister threat looms on the horizon. At Huin's, the conversation about classes feels distant as Ken shares more. "I spotted a man near the orchard yesterday, watching with binoculars. He didn't look like a passerby." Truong's mind races, piecing together the clues, the rumors, the broken coop, the market glare. He decides, "We'll reinforce the fence tonight with whatever we have and take turns keeping watch. I'll ask Ken for extra hands." The photos show Due playing obliviously with a toy boat, his laughter a stark contrast to the growing peril. While Tieu Nu gathers nails, a hammer, and a length of rope, her determination hardening. As dusk settles, a rustling in the underbrush sends Truong's senses on high alert. He grabs a sturdy stick, ready to defend his family. A figure darts back into the shadows, and the faint hum of a motorbike fades into the distance, leaving Truong and Tieu Nu on edge, their bond tested by the encroaching danger. As the night deepens into an oppressive darkness, Ly Tieu Nu ascends a trembling ladder in the orchard, the uploaded photos capturing her nimble fingers plucking ripe oranges from the gnarled branches, their golden flesh a fleeting glimmer against the encroaching shadows. The air is heavy with the sweet aroma of citrus and the damp musk of earth, pierced by the occasional hoot of an owl and the restless rustle of leaves stirred by a chilly breeze. She balances precariously, her basket swelling with fruit, the weight pulling at her shoulders as she descends, the latter groaning with each careful step. With a determined heave, she hoists the load onto her back, the straps biting into her flesh, and begins the arduous trek to the city market, the images showing her arranging the oranges beneath a weathered canopy, the vibrant pile drawing a steady stream of buyers. Vendors' voices rise in a lively cacophony. Oranges, fresh and sweet as honey. A middle-aged woman with a woven basket approaches, asking, "How much for a kilo, dear?" Tieu Nu, her voice steady despite the fatigue etched into her features, replies, 10,000 or 20,000 for two. A small boy, no older than Duet, tugs at her sleeve with grubby hands. "Candy, auntie, please?" She smiles, reaching into her bag to offer a sticky treat, her heart warming briefly amid the chaos. Suddenly, a motorbike's roar tears through the market's hum, its engine a guttural snarl that silences the chatter, and a masked rider slows to a menacing crawl, his dark visor reflecting the flickering stall lights as he fixes a chilling, predatory stare on her. The photos freeze the tense encounter, his silhouette a dark omen against the bustling backdrop. Tieu Nu's breath catches, her hands trembling as she steadies the basket, but she forces herself to pack up, her instincts screaming danger as the rider lingers before accelerating into the night. Back at the farm, Truong kneels beside a duck, its strength slowly returning as it quacks and takes tentative steps, a fragile sign of recovery after days of diligent care. The uploaded photos show him gently stroking its feathers, a rare smile softening his weary face. The phone buzzes and a vet's voice crackles through, the signal weak but clear. The disinfection's holding, keep up the doses, and the flock should pull through in a few days if no new outbreaks hit. Relief floods Truong's chest, a weight lifting from his shoulders, but it's swiftly shattered by Kin's urgent call, his voice thick with alarm. "Truong, I saw men lurking near your land again, asking about Tieu Nu. They had ropes and a crowbar, looked ready to act. Stay vigilant." Truong's fists clench, his voice a low, fierce vow. "I'll protect her with everything I am." The photos reveal a splintered fence post, scattered poultry, a muddy footprint near the coop, and a glint of metal in the grass. Unmistakable signs of a planned intrusion that send a chill down his spine. He races to the market, his heart pounding like a war drum. The motorbikes echo a relentless shadow in his mind. He finds Tieu Nu pale but composed, her basket half empty, her hands shaking slightly as she counts the day's meager earnings. "We need to go now," he insists, his tone brooking no argument, guiding her and Duet through the thinning crowd, the rider's glare still burning in her memory. At home back, an elder with a weathered but kind face envelopes them in a warm, protective embrace, his voice a soothing anchor. "You're like my own daughter. Don't worry, call me anytime, day or night." Tieu Nu's shoulders relax, her voice soft with gratitude. "Thank you back. I feel safer with you near." Truong pulls her aside, his eyes blazing with a mix of guilt and unyielding determination. "I'm building a new secure home for us. No one will ever harm you or Duet. I should have seen this threat coming, should have acted sooner. But I'll make it right, I swear on my soul." The photos show him sketching detailed house plans on a scrap of paper, the lines precise despite his trembling hands, while Duet colors beside him with bright crayons, oblivious to the danger lurking just beyond the fence. Back nods sagely, his eyes crinkling with approval. "Truong's a rare soul, a true guardian. Let him stand by you." Tieu Nu's eyes glisten with unshed tears, her voice breaking with emotion. "He's my anchor, my light when all else fades." As midnight cloaks the farm in silence, a deafening crash shatters the stillness. A section of the coop collapses under the brutal force of an intruder's assault, and shadowy figures emerge, their faces obscured by masks as they wield crowbars, ropes, and a gleaming machete. Truong grabs a flashlight and a sturdy hoe, the photos capturing him charging toward the intruders, one swinging a crowbar that grazes his arm, drawing a thin stream of blood that stains his sleeve crimson. "Stay inside, lock the door," he roars to Tieu Nu, who clutches Due, her breath ragged with terror as she drags him behind the hut's frail walls. The leader, a burly man with a jagged scar across his cheek, snarls, "This land's ours now, give it up or pay the price," before swinging again, the crowbar clanging against the hoe as Truong parries with desperate strength. The intruders hesitate, then flee on a motorbike, its taillight vanishing into the darkness, leaving behind a trail of destruction. Police sirens wail through the night as Kin arrives with officers, their flashlights sweeping the wreckage, illuminating broken planks, spilled grain, and Truong's blood-streaked arm. "We'll track them down, secure everything and rest," Kin promises, his voice firm as he directs his team to establish a perimeter. The aftermath leaves the farm in a state of devastation, the photos showing a collapsed coop, overturned baskets of oranges, and Truong's makeshift bandage soaked with blood as he tends to his wound with a torn cloth. He surveys the damage, his resolve hardening like forged steel. "This ends here. I'll hire skilled builders to reconstruct this place stronger than ever and guards to watch over it day and night." Tieu Nu stands beside him, her voice steady despite the trauma carved into her features. "We'll face this together, rising stronger with each blow." Back steps forward, his presence a steady rock. "I'll rally the village. People will bring tools, food, and hands to help rebuild. You're not alone in this fight." The next morning, dawn paints the sky with delicate strokes of pink and gold, the orchard's oranges gleaming like precious stones in the early light, chickens clucking with renewed vigor as they peck at fresh feed, and Due playing with a repaired toy boat, his laughter a healing balm piercing the lingering tension. Truong, his arm bandaged but his spirit unbroken, wraps a protective arm around Tieu Nu, his voice a quiet vow. "We'll rise from this ashes together, we'll shape a future where no one can touch us." She leans into him, whispering through tears, "Thank you for loving us, for fighting for us when I couldn't find the strength." As the sun climbs higher, the village awakens to the call for aid. Neighbors streaming in with hammers, nails, baskets of fruit, and jars of homemade preserves, their voices a chorus of solidarity. The photos capture back directing the effort, his hands guiding a young boy to hammer a plank into place, while Tieu Nu distributes oranges to the helpers, her smile returning like a fragile dawn. Truong oversees the reconstruction, his arm in a sling but his commands clear and authoritative. "Reinforce the fence with steel, make it a fortress." A local carpenter, an old friend of Kin's, arrives with detailed blueprints, offering to design a sturdier coop at no cost, his tools clinking as he sets to work. The day stretches on, the rhythmic sound of construction blending with the laughter of children at play. And by late afternoon, a new coop stands tall, its roof gleaming under the sun, a symbol of resilience. Tieu Nu sits with Due in a newly tilled patch, teaching him to plant seeds, the photos showing his tiny hands patting the soil with care, a metaphor for new beginnings taking root. Truong joins them, kneeling to help, his voice gentle yet firm. "This garden will sustain us, our first victory in this war." The police return with updates, Kin reporting with a grim smile, "The leader's in custody, a notorious land speculator. We're closing in on his accomplices." Relief washes over them, but Truong remains vigilant. "We'll stay prepared until it's fully resolved." Evening falls, the farm aglow with lanterns strung by the villagers, a celebration of survival and unity. The photos depict a communal feast, Tieu Nu serving steaming bowls of rice and roasted duck, back sharing tales of past hardships overcome, and duet dancing with other children, his movements joyful and free.
Been with her husband for about 50 years. She talked of how they met and what their life had been like. And I could tell by her stories and the warmth of her tone of voice that she, too, had a happy marriage. Then it was my turn, and all I could do was cry as I told the story of my own husband's battle with cancer and chronic pain. As unquote, I'm used to asking people what they have learned from their experiences, so it was natural for me to ask her for advice on what happened her deal with the crushing grief. Obviously, she has been doing something right to be so full of vitality and joy after such a short time. She described it, her travels around the world with sparkling eyes, and her plans for the next year with a joyful smile. What a contrast to how I was. Phyllis had been so open with me. I felt encouraged her to ask her, did you ever feel like you were just waiting to die? I don't mean to I don't mean to die. I just mean feeling like all you were doing was going through the motions with no filter and no purpose. She emphatically stated, no, no, never. I must have looked incredulous because she shared the following story. When she was a little girl, her family lived in Java, where her dad was an executive with Shell Oil. One day, Japanese soldiers came to the door and took her dad away with a bayonet pointed at his back. Her mother, Phyllis, and her little brother all were taken to a Japanese prisoner camp. For 3 years, they all but starved as they struggled to survive. I listened, open-mouthed, as she told of the horrors her family had gone through. Phyllis finished her story